Brent here with Bring Your Own Tools, and on today's episode, if you want to learn how a router sled completely transformed and improved the quality of my woodworking, we'll keep on watching because we are going to be testing out the difference between a $20 router sled and a $900 router sled. Let's get started. Now, the use of router sleds really started for me about a year ago when I did my epoxy river shelf that I built in BYOT number 46. Now, I really did make this router sled for approximately 20 bucks because all I did was buy one piece of L metal, cut it in half, took a couple pieces of 1x1 wood, stuck them together with a little bit of 5-minute epoxy, drilled them into place, and there you go, you have a router sled. And as long as it fits your router that you're using, it works out perfectly. Now, this stretch is a 4-foot long stretch, and as you can see, it glides over the wood just the way you want a router sled to do, where it just planes the surface down evenly and consistently all the way across a large span. Now, this worked out perfectly for me for a long period of time because I wasn't doing that many large pieces like this, and therefore it really did come in handy when I needed to do small router sledding and making sure that a piece was even and flat all the way across. However, over the last couple months, I've really felt like this router sled really has hindered my ability to do larger scale projects, which I want to do. So I reached out to Woodpeckers, and they sent me over this beautiful router sled kit. Now, in all honesty and full disclosure, they did send this over to me for free, but they're allowing me to do an honest and open review and opinion with no strings attached with my review of their product. Now, as you can see, there's a plethora of different items that come in the kit, but when I say the thing is quality made, you will know the moment this package comes to your front door because it is quite hefty. The entire rail system is high quality, high gauge extruded aluminum, and you immediately feel the quality of this product because it is sturdy as can be, especially when you put the entire thing together. Now, the entire system is very adjustable, and you can even extend the entire system out much further than my workbench. Now, this is made possible because you have 4 beams that are 6 feet long, and you can connect them each individually so you can have a stretch that is literally 12 feet long. So if you have a very long and large table you're trying to put together, this really may be the system for you. Now, with a heavy-duty router sled like this, you need a heavy-duty router, and I do love my Dewalt router, but it was only a 1/4-inch shank, and I need a 1/2-inch shank, especially for large-scale projects. Now, this is a Titon 3 1/4 horsepower router, and the real key about this router is that it has a 1/2-inch shank capacity. This means that I can do much larger passes than my 1/4-inch router because with the 1/4-inch, you really don't want to go more than an inch wide with your router bits, especially with your flat bits, but with a 1/2-inch shank, you can really increase your pass width, which really increases your productivity. Now, we'll go more into detail with that later, but as you can see, this is a 2-inch diameter surfacing bit that I got at Bits and Bits, which is incredibly high quality, high industrial gauge surfacing bit. But as I noted, it has a 2-inch diameter surfacing head, which basically means I just doubled my productivity because the last surfacing head that I had was only an inch in diameter. Now, the whole system is very easy to put together because all you really need is a Phillips head screwdriver and a crescent wrench. Just make sure the router is not plugged in at this point. Yeah, that would be bad. Now, these are our 2 router sleds side by side, and as you can see, there's definitely a quality difference, as there should be. One costs $20, the other one costs $900 plus. Now, with the smaller router sled, you have a 1-inch diameter router bit with a 1/4-inch shank. The larger system has a 2-inch diameter head with a 1/2-inch shank. Now, I made this video not to show you that the $900 unit is better than the $20 unit because it obviously is. I really made this video because I wanted to show everyone that no matter what your budget is, you can have a router sled system. Now, this tool is extremely valuable because this really transformed the quality of my woodworking and allowed me to do larger upscale projects comparatively to before I had this type of system. Now that we have both systems set up and ready to work, I wanted to do a couple examples of comparison shots between both systems. Now, I did a quick count of how many passes are needed to surface both sides, and it really did come out to double, as in it only took 6 passes for the larger router sled versus 12 for the other to do the same amount of work. Now, it's a quick safety tip. If you do build your own router sled system, you really should have a side stop guard. This would guarantee you that the router sled would not fall off the side if you don't have it on the rails properly. This system, that's why there's a gouge right there, and just ignore that because that was just user error, and Brent doesn't make mistakes ever, right? No. Moving on. Now I'm going to show you a few more tests along the way to allow you to see the quality of the Woodpecker system and how it actually performs. But first, I wanted to say a huge and special thank you to all of my subscribers out there. I truly appreciate all the love and support. However, I just recently realized that over 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Yes, can you believe it? I greatly appreciate all those and everyone that do watch my videos, but please, if you do watch my videos, please do subscribe because it really does help the channel, as well as click that notification button on the side so you know exactly when the next BYOT is uploaded and see what kind of crazy unique project I'm working on next, right? Thank you. Now, a couple of the major advantages of this type of woodpecker system, one being the fact that you have a nice even level surface that you're working off of. Now, with the smaller, lighter system, it tends to bend slightly in the middle, so you might have a bit of a ridge between one pass versus the other, but with this system you have very even consistent passes that are for sure the exact same height, even if you can see slight variances between each pass of the wood. That means that you're going to save some time and energy in the long run when you're sanding. Yes, sanding. Now, the other very nice thing about this system is that you can actually incorporate the other rails that come with the kit to extend the height of your rail system. Some of you may have seen my video about a topography map epoxy pour with plywood, and this piece was very tall, so I couldn't use it on my normal system. But with the extra rails, I then was able to repurpose them and use them as extra height indicators, which allowed me to cut the proper height for this unique piece. Now, when it comes to sawdust, is always a factor, especially when you're doing woodworking, so I actually have a nice hooked up vacuum system to the router. Now, after you turn on the router is actually plugged into the vacuum, therefore it turns on the vacuum simultaneously with the router, which is perfect and exactly what you want. It also turns off the vacuum once you turn off the router. Now, the only thing that I think the Woodpeckers router sled system could improve upon is the vacuum connection system. I feel like with the router plate, there could be a vacuum connection as well as a sweep, so the particles can be picked up easier. With the router and my vacuum, it really doesn't pick up every single piece and particle. As you can see, there's plenty of debris that is not picked up from the vacuum system. So I may be so inclined to add a sweep on the side as well as drill into the plate to allow a connection for the vacuum there to pick up all the particles. That would be nice. But that is really the only thing that I would potentially improve upon this system. It's an amazing system, and if you guys are so inclined and interested in potentially purchasing this product or any other product that you see on this channel, please check out my Amazon links below, which also helps the channel out if you click through. Doesn't cost you anything either, which is very nice. Now, as for future projects and future endeavors, check out this beautiful burl walnut slab that I picked up at Live Edge Hardwoods, and I cannot wait to work on this bad boy. I wonder what I should make out of it. Any suggestions? Now, this slab is already one beautiful, sexy beast before I even do anything to it, so imagine what it's going to look like now that I have my hands on it. Oh yeah. And there you have it, episode number 62 of BYOT complete. And I know this is not your normal BYOT where I'm actually building a project, but I wanted to emphasize the importance of a router sled system. Whether you're on this type of budget or this type of budget, it really comes in handy and really is a game changer for your woodworking. So I hope you guys all really enjoyed it and appreciate the fact that no matter what your budget is, you can have this type of system. In any case, thank you for your time. Please like the video, please subscribe to this channel, and please check out my Instagram feed and my newly developed website at BYOTools.me. You can learn how to support the channel from there. In any case, thank you for your time. Till next time. Now, this is why you need a stop plate. Yeah, no one likes gouged wood. User error for sure.